Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Welcome to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California, as we continue with the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports. Happy to have your company on a fantastic Saturday afternoon on the West Coast. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Trujillo. Happy to be joined in the booth by Wade Phillips, Tyler Falk, Ike McBride doing stats for us. We've got Mike St. Green and Cameron Irvine in the studio. You'll hear from them at halftime. We're here at Full Moon Coliseum as the Los Angeles Lakers look to keep their slim playoff hopes alive against the Vancouver Legion, who have already clinched a playoff spot and wrapped up the division at the record of 8-1. Wade, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Michael, and looking forward to this matchup because it's going to be a team that, like you said, already punched their ticket, but then LA is fighting for their playoff lives, and you're going to try to get a victory here against a very red-hot team in Vancouver. But LA, looking forward to see what they can do. Their offense, pretty studly back there, but they've got to get all the cylinders clicking to get a win in Vancouver, because Vancouver's defense and offense both very exceptional.
2 weeks ago, Vancouver posted their first ever win against the Mexico City Aztecs down in Mexico City. They will attempt to do another first today. They have never defeated the Lycans on the road, and if they do that, they will be 9-1, and they look to keep pace with the undefeated Baltimore Vultures from the other side of the country, chasing that number 1 overall seed. Los Angeles in black, Vancouver in white, gold, and blue. And from the Angel City, we are underway as the Lycans kicker Rob Ems boots this one deep. Taken by Chris Curtis. Curtis almost breaks a tackle and will get out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Vancouver Legion offense. Quarterback is Tom Pepper. Running back Robert Redford. Sawyer Stern, the fullback. Brett Killian, David Gears, Kendra Hall, and Chris Curtis, the wide receivers. James Walters is the tight end. Mike Coverson and Michael Percoco are the all-important offensive linemen. First down and 10-eye formation. Pepper stands in, will throw to the near side. That's the fullback Sawyer Stern. They'll utilize him both in the air and on the ground, and he gets 6 yards as he bamboozles the Lycans defense a little bit. Here's the LA defense. Defensive line of Bogan Spiro, Ace Blackwell, Gary Marks. Linebackers Tazzy Blackwell and Danny Stinson. Kevin Brackett, Buddy Blaze, Ryan Proster. Mike Scott and Jack Hacksaw are the corners, as up the middle goes Redford. He'll be a yard short of the first down. Rochelle Colston and Ryan Yosef are the safeties.
That time they tried to get started with Robert Redford early, but didn't, still working at it, and it's going to be a long game, and they're going to try to get him going early and often.
Power I expect to see Redford here. They do give it to him, tries to run to the outside, and he gets by the defender and picks up a fresh set of downs for Vancouver. And this is one of the most impressive things about Vancouver is their diversity on offense. They can throw deep and beat you over the top, but they can also grind you out with Redford and Stern.
Absolutely, because they can still have, both, facets of the game able to work in concert.
Offset eye, Pepper to throw for the second time. First time he's trying to go to the wide receivers, and it's sniped out of the air by Ryan Heyo Yosef. And it's second down and 10. Los Angeles' secondary is going to have to step up big today to contain the, count 'em, 4 star wideouts for Vancouver.
Second and 10.
Legion's second in the league in points per game at 34.1. Second in rushing touchdowns, total with 14. That time Redford no love up the middle as Danny Stinson knocks down the running back. 3rd down and 9. And now it'll be on the arm of Tom Pepper again, the 10th season veteran, 4-time All-Star, still chasing his and Vancouver's first title. Pepper with a man in his face, guns it down the field, popped high in the air, and incomplete. First defender to the ball was, I believe, Jack Hacksaw. And it'll be 4th down and 9. The Lycans defense holds.
Yeah, they tried to stretch. They tried to stretch that the defense, but unfortunately, not. Looked like Joseph on the pass deflection, and it was into kind of traffic, but they weren't able to get it complete. And now 4th down, going to punt it.
Here is the punter for Vancouver. Brian Patrick gets it away. Tries to pin Los Angeles in the corner and will do a pretty good job on special teams, keeping LA to their own 27-yard line. Here are the Lycans starters on offense. The quarterback is former Carolina Skyhawk Sully Richardson. Robert Johnson, the running back. Tom Rahman at fullback. Terrence Weary, Davius Reed, LZ Pryor, and Chris Lee, the wide receivers. Jack Flash at tight end. Vladimir Dunham and Bob Dunham on the offensive line. And off middle, Robert Johnson. He has big playability, and he'll get 11 there. Knocked down by Ashley Rose Finch. Here's Vancouver's defense. Defensive line of Achilles Papatonis, Kybron Womack, Gerald Giudice, Josh Farnsey, Earl Fields, and Marquise Reed, the linebackers. Major Key, Ashley Rose Finch, and Dean Maddox, the corners. Michael Lister, Mark Lopez, and Drew Hamilton are the safeties. Here's going to be a fullback handoff this time. Slipping through is Robert Johnson as he lined up as the fullback in that set.
So far, LA's been able to run it a bit, and on that play before, they got quite a hefty chunk of yards, and that time 6 yards on the run. The offensive line and the blockers have been doing a great job springing them, and Vancouver's defense going to have to do something to adjust.
Well, if there is a hole in the Vancouver game, it is their rushing defense, ranked 20th in yards against on the ground per game, giving up over 115, and 10 touchdowns on the ground as well, as Robert Johnson snakes through the defensive line.
And it looks like LA is really going to try to exploit that weakness in the Vancouver defense, like you said, in their running game not being the best. But really, LA is doing a great job so far taking advantage.
Here's Richardson going deep, and it's picked off. You test the Vancouver defense, and the Vancouver defense bites you. Ashley Rose Finch takes away an interception.
And that'll be her 5th of the season. And look at that. We talk about how well their run offense is going, and then they try to test it, like you said, interception, and now Vancouver gets it right back and going to try to put some points on the board that their offense failed to do on that first drive.
23rd interception all together for the Vancouver defense. Drew Hamilton leads the way with 6, but Ashley Rose Finch now up to 5. That's second on the team. And something that happened 2 weeks ago when Vancouver toppled Mexico City is the Aztecs sold out to stop Robert Redford and the running game. And Vancouver was able to pass their way to victory. And it seems that Los Angeles may be coming in with a very similar strategy. Pepper looses the arm cannon and connects to the tight end, James Walters.
Walters had a gigantic game last week, over 200 yards receiving yards, and that time the corner route got him open. He beat the defender in the air to really grab that out of the air, and that time caught it first down, and now Vancouver continues to move down the field and very much has a chance to put 7 points on the board.
Throw it to the tight end indeed, and he beat Mike Scott, the cornerback on the corner route. Setting up this 1st and 10 near midfield. Pepper on the slant. That's a dart to Brett Killian, who's having himself a ridiculous season. Killian, 771 yards and 7 touchdowns through the air coming into the game.
Yeah, and he's a touchdown away from tying James Cooley for 3rd all time and 2 from passing him, so we'll be looking out for that all game.
Wouldn't be surprised to see number 12 in the end zone maybe a couple of times today. Redford swallowed up for only a gain of 3. Nice job by Ace Blackwell.
Yes, great job, Ace Blackwell. Great job defense limiting him to 3 yards right there. The defense doing a great job on the first level, clogging up those holes. Linebackers getting in there, filling in their gaps. Great job limiting them to 3 yards.
Tom Pepper on the season, 2792 yards. That's good for 4th in the league, but a 101.9 QBR. So he's one of the safest with the football in the entire SFL, and lacing through the defense like a hot knife through butter. There goes Robert Redford, 1st down and 10. A big day today for Pepper, could put him over 3,000 yards on the season.
Be quite the accomplishment to get over 3,000 yards, and right there they're gonna try to stay balanced as much as they can. Did a great job right there beating the run defense of LA. Robert Redford sprung it for the 1st down.
Trips left, single right, 3 down lineman. Here comes a 4th linebacker on the rush. Still plenty of time for Tom Pepper to sit back there, read a book, and then fire over everybody's head. He was looking for Killian in the end zone.
Yeah, I saw Killian open for that, what would have been the tying, record touchdown, but unfortunately couldn't complete it. It was just a little bit high, couldn't get it completed, and now 2nd down and 10.
Shout outs to Mike Coverson and Michael Percoco on the offensive line for Vancouver. Gave Pepper all day back there to throw. 3-man rush. Pepper again all day to throw, and it's a 1st down. This time Vancouver playing a little bit more conservatively. There is Chris Curtis. He picks up a move of the chains, and Vancouver down into the red zone.
It was a very conservative play, but executed to perfection right there. They had Trips bunch on the right side, and they were playing a zone defense, and they had that matchup on the right side that they took advantage of, complete for the 1st down.
Now Los Angeles stacks the box, and it's going to be a free play as Los Angeles jumps, and then a fumble of the football. I believe Vancouver fell on it anyway. Stonewall, the right tackle, fell on the loose ball. It won't matter because it was Los Angeles jumping off sides to begin the play.
Indeed, what the free play kind of saved their bacon, because had that been a turnover, that would have been disastrous. But luckily, they jumped on it, and harmless because the free play.
And turnovers in the red zone is something that plagues a lot of teams, especially if you stuck around from the first game. Arizona, last week, Ashley Jackson turned the ball over 3 times in the red zone in a close loss for the Scorpions. There goes Redford, nowhere to go that time. Knocked down by Buddy Blaze.
And this LA defense has to stay strong on the goal line stand, because Vancouver's offense presents plenty of problems in matchups for the LA defense.
2nd down and 5, can get a fresh set of downs inside the 2. Redford still going, stays on his feet, and then he's cleaned up by Yosef.
Stayed on his feet, used great balance, and weaved through traffic in that bunched up in the middle, got through there, picked up 2, but really they're going to look to try to do something tricky right here on 3rd and 3 on the LA 5.
Don't look now, Wade, but this first quarter has almost gone already. Still no score, but Vancouver knocking on the door. 3rd down and 3, Los Angeles trying to hold in the red zone. Redford gets the ball off tackle to the left and shows excellent patience as he waltzes in. Touchdown, Vancouver.
What a great play by the offense. Great blocking by everyone that blocked. Robert Redford picking up his 12th touchdown rushing of the season right there. couldn't find a hole initially, but stayed patient, let his blocks develop, and then walked into the end zone for a touchdown. And now LA very much on their heels, getting punched in the mouth early, and they need to respond on their next offensive possession because Vancouver striking early, and now the away team for the first time in the series looking like it could go their way.
Vancouver leads, and guess who was the key block on the outside? It was Sawyer Stern who made that block to get Redford into the end zone. Pay your fullbacks, folks. That's why they're there. So.
Indeed, one of the most unsung positions on the field, the fullback got the block, and that's, like you said, that's why you pay him.
Fullback, punter, and offensive line.
Indeed.
3 positions often maligned by the SFL community, but when they show up big. From just inside the goal line, Los Angeles will have 2:40 to work with in the first quarter, as LZ Pryor brings the ball up to the 23. Pryor, 4th season in the Simulationfl, 3rd with the Los Angeles Lycans. Deep drop for Richardson. He completes over the middle to Chris Lee.
It was an excellent play to pick up 7 on the play. They needed that because now it keeps their drive going. They've got a short, second down. LA 30, very much a good position to be. And now if they can get this play, they're very much in the driver's seat, getting to try to score another their first points of the game.
Just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Richardson going to let it fly, and racing behind the defense is Davius Reed, and he'll go all the way, 70 yards, and the Lycans strike back immediately.
And look at that, Michael. The Vancouver offense scored, and then LA responds right back on the second play of the drive. The explosive play gets right behind the defense, steps on, just 5 yards in front of him, and then off to the races, and no one caught him, and that's a touchdown. Great play by LA to get that touchdown. Now they're right back in this ball game, and it is looking like the home field advantage played into effect right there.
Davius Reed with his 5th receiving touchdown of the season. He takes the team lead in receiving touchdowns. LZ Pryor and Chris Lee also had 4 coming into the game. Reed also leads the team in receiving yards, 734. Now make that over 800 receiving yards for the season. It's tied up 7-7 here in LA. The Lycans and the Legion going out into the Pacific. We'll be right back. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to Full Moon Coliseum in Los Angeles, alongside Ike McBride and Tyler Falk on stats, and Wade Phillips alongside me in the broadcast booth. My name is Michael Chirillo. We've seen two rapid-fire touchdowns coming down the stretch of the first quarter, and it's 7-7 between the Legion and the Lycans. The Legion looking for their first ever win at Full Moon Coliseum. So, Wade, back to square one.
Indeed, and it's a brand new ball game in the second, about to be the second quarter. First quarter still going, but 2 minutes left, and it's 7-7 ball game, and this home field advantage could play in huge in this ball game.
Everybody pressing up on the line for Los Angeles defensively. Pepper trying to take advantage, and he drops it in the bucket of James Walters. That's his second catch of the day, and his second massive catch moves Vancouver close to midfield.
And he picks up right where he left off last week. Another huge play again, like you mentioned. And that time, the post route picked up over, close to what he picked up last time that he had that big play earlier in this first quarter.
I watch a lot of football, as we all do. And something that I've been told by a lot of coaches as we get Tom Pepper throwing it again, completing again, and this is just going to underscore my point that I'm about to make, that you can have all the power in the world as a quarterback, but if you can't place that ball on a dime 30 yards downfield, you're no use to anybody. Tom Pepper is one of those rare breed of quarterbacks who's got both. He's got all the arm strength you could ask for, and he's got the accuracy.
You're absolutely right. He's got the rocket arm plus the laser accuracy needed to put it in a very tight window.
Power either going to throw out of it, pitch to the far side. Here is Robert Redford, not getting very much on that play. Nice wrap-up tackle by Tazzy Blackwell.
Like you mentioned about the quarterback play, he's also got the ability to read the defense very well and pick out the open pass more often than not. Yeah, granted, it has some turnover issues, but hey, very exceptional at finding the open receiver.
20 touchdowns, 17 interceptions on the year for Pepper, and there you go. That's a well-designed play by Vancouver. Just get the receiver out in space and let him do the rest of the work. First down, Vancouver approaching the red zone.
Very much so. Got the open receiver, caught it, and then let them do the work. Lead them a little bit, let them make plays after the catch. Great job by Chris Kurtz right there to pick up that first down.
20 seconds of the first half. This could possibly, first quarter, this could be the final play of the frame. It'll be a run for Redford, and he is forced the other way. That was a terrific hit initially by Danny Stinson to force him the other way, and eventually it was cleaned up by Mike Scott for a loss of yards. Vancouver wheeling and dealing in the red zone when we come back for the second quarter. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on NXT. Second quarter on tap from Full Moon Coliseum alongside Wade Phillips. I'm Michael Tremillo. Vancouver, after being punched in the mouth with a 70-yard Lycans touchdown, looking to take the lead back as they've got 2nd and 9 from the 15. Robert Redford, nowhere to go. And it's looking like a very similar game plan on defense for Los Angeles to what Mexico City had 2 weeks ago. Just stop the run.
Indeed, and it really almost worked to perfection for Mexico City, and we'll see if LA can get a victory with their strategy.
Intercepted inside the 5. What a turn of events for the Lycans. Ryan Yosef has had his fingerprints all over this first half, and now he just punches it in the face.
Yes, it started with that pass deflection earlier, and that time, his 6th interception of the season, and now gets LA right back in it. LA starting this drive on their 3-yard line, and they are going to have to get away from this end zone very fast because they do not want to spend any time more than they have to over here.
In the shadow of their own end zone, they're picking up from the 3. Handoff. Johnson driven back to the 2. Excellent work by Achilles Papatonis on the defensive line for Vancouver.
Indeed, that was a great job by the defensive line to get back there in a hurry, stop them for a -1 yard gain, and now LA very much hurting to get away from this end zone.
Still in the danger zone for the all-black-clad Lycans of Los Angeles. It's going to be another handoff to Johnson, and Robert Johnson does the job this time, snaking his way out to the 11-yard line.
That was an excellent job by the blockers to open up the hole, and then Robert Johnson, exceptional patience and ball carrier vision to weave through the traffic and pick up 9 yards right there to make it 3rd and 2, and now they're comfortably away from the end zone at least.
Still got to convert this 3rd down, though. Do they go to Johnson 3 times in a row? No. Richardson with a hand in his face almost throws a pick. He was trying to get it to the tight end. And it's incomplete, so Los Angeles will be punting from deep in their own end zone. That was Travis Warren Jr., mostly used as a blocker in the game, and he was leaking out the back end to try and pick up a pass. Couldn't do it that time.
Indeed, that was scary. I thought that was going to be pick 6 for sure.
Sid Olindi, the rookie punter, will get it away from his own goal line as that one was almost blocked. It'll be decent field position for Vancouver, but nice coverage down the field for Los Angeles. As Chris Curtis can only get it to the 44. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. Pepper, backside throw, and that throw is a little bit too far behind the Chris Curtis for him to do anything with it. He just picks up about 4 yards.
On that play, it looked like Tom Pepper had a few options. One route was over the middle that was open, and that time picked out Chris Curtis on the out route. Good for 5 yards. It was, like you mentioned, off target, or a bit off target, and made him kind of stumble and only pick up 5.
Look at this. 4 wide plus the tight end. Pepper going to throw it deep down the field, and it's knocked away. Excellent work by Mike Scott as he denies the long pass and makes it 3rd and 5.
That was great coverage right there by Mike Scott. You mentioned it. He did a great job to get up there, forcing completion, get up in the face of the receiver and not let him get it. And so great job to hold to the 3rd and 5 now. And Vancouver is going to try to pick up this 1st down.
7 in the box for the Lycans. Let's see how many they rush. They're going to bring a run blitz, and Vancouver walks right into it. 4th down. That's excellent defensive scheming by LA.
Excellent. Like you mentioned, very excellent job to get that stop, force the 4th down, and now Los Angeles gets it back and going to try to put something together and pull ahead on the scoreboard.
Low snap for the punter, Brian Patrick. That's his second punt of the day. Fair catch called for and taken by Los Angeles. They'll start at their own 19-yard line. So Vancouver, Wade, winning the field position battle, but we've seen LA go over the top and be successful before. So how much does field position really matter?
I mean, I don't think it really matters as much as a lot of people think it does, at least in this matchup, as we've seen, because it hasn't mattered because they had that big splash play, and then Vancouver hasn't been able to do much with their great field position.
Richardson on a three-step drop to the sideline. That pass is complete. Getting forward for 4 yards. I thought he got a little bit more than that, did Jack Flash, fifth season veteran, two-time All-Star.
Must have brought that knee down way too quick to pick up any more.
But it'll be 2nd and 5 as they give him 1 extra yard. Handoff middle. Johnson with a lane and a knocking down a defender. And he'll pick up a first down. Finally dragged down by the linebacker Earl Fields, the rookie, who was chasing behind the play.
And that's almost 7 yards per carry. They've really been able to test this defense running-wise, and it's paid off. And really, their big, long touchdown was off a pass, so they've been able to kind of stay balanced and really spring those splash plays on them whenever it's opportune.
And I mentioned that Vancouver's weakness is on the defensive side of the ball, specifically against rushing attacks, where they are 20th out of 24 teams in rush defense per game. Pass over the middle, and there's a hard hit taken by the Los Angeles receiver. Standing his ground was Mark Lopez, but it is still a 9-yard gain.
It was a phenomenal job by the offensive line and blockers to leave Sully Richardson with time to survey the field and pick out the open pass, because that time it took him a little longer to find it, but he found it and got him enough to pick up the 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1, and they got to go pass first. Just underneath. Beautiful. Jack Flash leaping off the offensive line to grab that pass as a tight end. First down, LA.
LA has really done a pretty good job of staying diverse in their play calling, and it's left Vancouver's defense kind of on their heels, where they are not able to just tee off on one specific type of play, and so far LA's offense has kept them in the ballgame.
Still 7-7 the second quarter, quickly reaching its about halfway point before we get to halftime. Low scoring contest here on the West Coast. Richardson under center, takes a 5-step drop, going to air it out down the field. It's going to be just underthrown and knocked away by Dean Maddox.
Oh, and you know Dean Maddox is just so disappointed that he didn't catch that, but that does add to his 3rd in the league in pass deflections up until this point. That makes 13. He had 12 up until this ball game, and that makes 13 pass deflections on the season. So really, if he can just catch it a few more times, he would just be absolutely prolific.
Richardson again from under center. Over the middle in traffic. Catches made past the 50 and down to the Vancouver 43, setting up a 3rd down and 2.
That was a good idea, good play call to find that opening in the middle of the field to pick up enough to make it a short 3rd down, very manageable. And now they can really go to the well and kind of pick a play that they've had high success with, and it looks like they might go to something that's going to pay off.
They got those 2 tight ends lined up on the left side. Wouldn't surprise me if they go to Jack Flash. Richardson's supposed to move in the pocket. This time he tests the defense one-on-one. And this time Davius Reed can't break free or make the catch.
Yeah, and now it's just outside of field goal territory, so probably going to have to punt it. But if they can pin him deep, that'd be a good spot to have their defense to try to force a safety, perhaps. Oh, going for it.
Potentially going for it on 4th down and 2. They may just be trying to draw Vancouver offside. And they will call the timeout. So LA takes time and will punt it away to Vancouver as their defensive line holds steady. Have you checked out video content produced by our community lately? Cast the Sim Pod every week, SFL Crunch Time and Road to Glory every Wednesday night. SFL Nights with AJ Stryker premieres Thursday nights. Say It With Your Chest airs Fridays, and Netma can be seen all week long or read all week long as they are temporarily in a written format at 7 p.m. Eastern every week. The live show schedule can be accessed through our Discord server at the top of the channel listing. Just look at the Events tab. Second punt of the game for O'Lindy, trying to coffin corner Vancouver and doing an excellent job of it, sliding down. Oh, and they go just past the goal line, and the Legion will start at the 20.
Oh, what heartbreak. It looked like it was going to be good to pin him at the, 1 or 2 yard line, but unfortunately, the cover man got back there and slid into the end zone. Now it's a touchback, and Vancouver takes over on their own 20-yard line.
You don't really have to slide. That ball's not moving very fast. All you got to do is just touch it.
Yeah, run over there, touch it, tap it down.
Pepper from the gun. Against the four-man rush into the soft zone. That pass is complete. James Walters again. He is the highest volume receiver for Vancouver to this point.
Indeed, and that time just away from the outstretched arm of the linebacker right there. Kevin Brackett almost tipped it, but Walters did a great job catching it and picking up that first down, and now Vancouver continues this drive. Now it's starting out in the power eye.
Kevin Brackett in his 6th season of the SFL, first 5 seasons, where? In Vancouver, just changed over this past off season. Redford spin move out of the backfield, and he'll pick up 7, finally forced out of bounds by a trio of Lycans.
I'm a bit surprised, partner, that we haven't heard Robert Redford's name called in the passing game more this game, because he's such a prolific receiver that nearly, almost every season we see his name at the tops of receptions.
Redford only 2 touchdowns through the air this season and 266 yards receiving on 56 receptions. This time he gets the ball on the ground and is driven backwards. Excellent job by Los Angeles. Buddy Blaze led the charge, as well as Ryan Proster.
That was just a phenomenal play by LA's defense, really, to blow it up behind the line, no gain, and now they're 3rd and short.
That's just power football on the defensive end for Los Angeles. Pepper forced to throw, steps on the pocket, throws on the run, and it's incomplete as it hit off the back of the defender, Rochelle Colston. And it'll be a 3rd consecutive punt between both of these teams as we come down the stretch in the first half.
And the double move freed up the tight end, it looked like, but Rochelle Colston said, nuh-uh, stuck her hand in there and knocked it down. Great job, and now forces the punt.
Patrick back on to punt. That's a short punt. Fair catch called for and taken at the 28-yard line. So we saw offense early, and now it's all defense all the time, Wade, as we have the active team totals for yards and the like.
Indeed. Very, very, closer than I thought in passing yards and rushing yards. The rushing yards almost identical.
Robert Johnson with that almost 7 yards of carry he's got going on this game. He'll find almost that many, picks up 6.
Yeah, and 6 yards, they'll take that definitely. Anytime you can start off a first down on a run and pick up 6 yards, definitely take it. The blocking did a great job, just couldn't quite spring that to the second level, but they'll take it, and it looks like they're going to keep on testing it.
And the run blocking has been a lot better on the Los Angeles side this game. There's a short pass middle, just enough yards for a first down. Davius Reed, who caught the 70-yard touchdown pass earlier in the game, picks up the 4 yards needed that time.
was a very exceptional play to pick up that first down. They saw the opening in the middle, saw it, completed it, and then picked up the first, and now looks like they're going to run this ball.
Johnson, middle, trying to keep his feet moving, but he will be taken down by his opposite number, Dean Maddox.
That was, like you mentioned before, power football right there, matching up. Couldn't quite get the blocks to spring him for a bigger gain, but 3 yards, they're going to keep smashing down the middle of the field, and it looks like they might do that same thing.
It will be Johnson again. This time he's wrapped up and dropped by the long arms of Josh Farnsey, the #1 leader in tackles in the SFL so far this season as he wraps up number 94.
And Josh Farnsey, only 3 seasons in the SFL, but already, like you mentioned, leading the league in tackles and just absolutely flies around making plays.
That was an all-star in his rookie season in 16. Deflected and incomplete on the back end. Drew Hamilton, who is the team leader in interceptions, knocked that one away.
And they needed that, forces the 4th down, and it looks like Los Angeles couldn't quite force the issue and pick up the first down, and now Vancouver gets it back and are going to try to pull ahead in this ball game, right? Especially before halftime.
Yeah, this will be the 5th straight punt since the end of the first quarter. Interception, punt, 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 punt. And it's going to be a long field for Vancouver to work with, as that was an excellent punt by Olindi. Up to the 18-yard line goes Chris Curtis.
And we'll see if Vancouver can maybe string something together, because you don't want to leave LA with too much time left in the half to be able to put points on the board.
Robert Redford, only 28 yards on the ground, and he'll stay at 28 yards as the Los Angeles rush defense collapses. I believe that was Kazi Blackwell to make the tackle. We head to the 2-minute warning. When we come back, Los Angeles and Vancouver try to find some offense from somewhere. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Stay with us. 2 minutes of counting in the first half here from Full Moon Coliseum. My name is Michael Trillo, Wade Phillips alongside me. You'll hear from Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green in the studios at halftime shortly. Tom Pepper gonna load up, gonna go down the field. He's got a receiver out there. That's David Gears, the rookie out of Lexington, and gets almost to midfield. So during the break, Wade, we were talking about, we were hoping one of these teams can put together some offense, and Vancouver says, I'll show you some offense.
Indeed, David Gears just flipped on the gears and left the defense behind him. Fortunately, caught it and couldn't quite pick up that separation.
Never goes to the outlet. That's Sawyer Stern, the fullback, his second catch of the game. He is pushed to the ground. Nice tackle by Jack Hacksaw. Well, we're going to hear from Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green a little bit earlier than we thought, as they've got an in-game break update. Booth, take it away.
Torello, you know Mike St. Green loves the spotlight. Tulsa playing some defense, Mike.
Yeah, Cam, the opening drive of the game for Florida, they had a great drive up until this point. Ricky Thornton off of a tip ball here deflected and popped in the air with an interception in the end zone and stops the Florida drive.
Big third down, back to Torello.
3rd and 5 in Vancouver. Thanks, Cam and Mike. Hear more from you guys at halftime as they break down both of the games going on right now. That's a gutsy call on 3rd and 5, and Robert Redford bails him out with some slick running, and timeout Vancouver.
That was an absolute huge play right there. They needed that and picked up the first down, leaves them 41 seconds to continue this drive and try to punch it in or, hey, pick up any points, really.
Coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report. Crunch Time catches you up on what happened in Week 10, plus Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green update you on the action going on in Fort Lauderdale between Tulsa and Florida, part of our bonus coverage here today on NXT. It's all coming up on the APM Music Halftime Report. Ooh, knocked out of the air by Los Angeles. That was Scotty Marshall who knocked it down and just couldn't get a body position under it to make the catch.
Nope, that was the tip drill and almost took it, but unfortunately incomplete. But now that keeps Vancouver in this drive, and they're going to keep on trying to chip away.
Speaking of tip drill, how about that interception for Tulsa against Florida in the other game? Both of those teams fighting for their playoff lives down on the other end of the country, and now it's going to be 3rd and 2 after Kendra Hall picks up her first catch of the game.
The defense did a great job keeping them in bounds.
Up tempo with 21 seconds to go. Still 2 timeouts for Vancouver. And now 1 timeout as the Legion pick up a first down and call time.
Keeping her in bounds. And there, Brett Killian, another pass play, caught it and kept the defense kept him in bounds, so they had to use the timeout. That's just an unfortunate play. They just couldn't quite get him out of bounds to stop that clock.
You have 1 timeout remaining if you are Vancouver. So I say you take a shot to the end zone here and then maybe line it up for a field goal.
I'm with you.
Pepper's got the arm strength to get it there. He's going to load up and fire it. He's got a receiver wide open, and it's Brett Killian. How about that to tie James Cooley from 3rd all-time in receiving touchdowns?
There we go. He got behind the defense, steps behind, multiple steps, and that time the defense looked like maybe a busted coverage or just too good, too fast, too exceptional. Got behind him, and now ties for 3rd all-time in touchdown receptions. Great job. What a career.
1 more and he'd be solo possession of 3rd place. And James Cooley no longer an active player, so he's not going to take that one back. Extra point up and good. So for 6 straight drives with nothing to show for it, Vancouver finally comes out, puts together a 2-minute drill, and puts the Legion on top 14-7. 14 seconds for Los Angeles to do something with it here at the end.
You have to imagine the coaching staff for LA just had to tear up their halftime talk because that just shattered what they were going to talk about. So now they have to really flip the script and try to force the issue and get points on the board in a hurry.
And if you're wondering how many receiving touchdowns is good enough, tie for third all-time in the Simulation Football League. 88 is the number that Brett Killian now has.
A healthy number right there.
It is indeed. As we see number 88 on the screen for Los Angeles, that's wide receiver Chris Lee. Maybe he'll have an impact in the last 8 seconds. It's just going to be a run to Robert Johnson, and there goes Robert Johnson from an absolutely nothing play. Nobody was home to watch the house, and Los Angeles is going to tie the game going into the break. What a turnaround!
Wow, what a turnaround. That's the second time in this ball game that LA has just absolutely fired back after giving up a score. The first time was that amazing play where the receiver just got way behind the defense right there. Like you mentioned, a nothing play, and the blockers did an excellent job picking up everybody, and then he was off to the races. No one was even close. My goodness, just running by 66. 66
plays.
Was on his horse.
Yeah, that was a great run. Bob Dunham, the left guard, with him all the way. So a 70-yard passing touchdown from Richardson to Davius Reed in the first quarter. And then an 80-yard rushing touchdown by Robert Johnson, 76 yards to be precise, thanks to Todd Falk. And that hits us to the halftime interval. It's the grind game of Vancouver, neck and neck with the explosive plays of Los Angeles. We'll be back with the APM Music SFL halftime report with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green after the break. Stay with us.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. And Mike, it's not often that a team fails to convert any third downs in the first half and is tied at 14.
Well, Cam, I've changed my notes up several times in this game. I thought we were going to go in talking about this great defensive game, in the first half, and then I thought we were going to say, hey, man, squandered opportunities for the Lycans, and Vancouver was up. And then I don't know if we call it a Hail Mary or what we call it at the end of the half, but it was definitely the last play of the half. Big run by Robert Johnson to tie this game up. And now we're going to be talking about, how explosive the LA offense looks. And these guys have kind of, I guess, changed uniforms a little bit. Vancouver has been kind of the grinded out team, and LA has been the quick strike team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it just goes to show you, Mike, how close the league is from top to bottom. You've got 8-1 Vancouver, you've got 3-6 Los Angeles, and we've got a ball game.
The margin of victory in the SFL is so razor thin. Anything can happen any given week. As I've said in the past, any given sim day, you could see, some crazy things in the SFL. A no-win team could beat a undefeated team, and we're seeing an example of that right here today. Of course, LA is not undefeated, but we're seeing a division champion playing a team that's hanging on for their playoff lives, and we're tied at half.
And we saw that plenty last week in Week 10 of the SFL. And every week we wrap up the SFL week on SFL Crunch Time every Wednesday night on the SFL YouTube channel. And if you missed any action from Week 10, here's a look back at it.
First down by James Walters. Saves and falls! And he will get to the 2-yard line!
Synergy going to go to the end zone. Touchdown drive. Josh Gill.
Welcome back to SFL Crunch Time, Week 10, officially history, and all 24 SFL teams were in action. A lot happening. We have extended highlights for you, but first let's do some quick hits and go around the league. And we begin at St. Louis, hosting Atlanta. Ryan Roosevelt would find the end zone here. 3 catches, 61 yards, and that touchdown, the second-year wide receiver. But it would be St. Louis's day. Cairo Martinez, relatively quiet afternoon statistically, but finds a end zone here on short yardage. St. Louis holds serve at home 19-13. Big win for the Gladiators there. Jacksonville facing a red-hot Tulsa Desperados team. This is Jared Willis. He had 8 receptions on the day, including that first half TD. Douglas Brown continuing his Offensive Rookie of the Year campaign with that score. And Grayson Willis led all receivers with 9 catches. Jacksonville pulled one off on the road, 20-7. Denver going to Baltimore. Sports Gamers Online Stadium. Warren Murray had himself a day. 195 all-purpose yards, 6 touchdowns, including 5 on the ground, including the one you see here. The season 17 champs defeat the season 16 champs, 56-38. The red-hot Houston Hyenas team suddenly catching fire. Dave Burr finds Brad Jones on the left side, and Jones is going to convert that to a first down thanks to some blocking downfield. And here's another big block right there from Justin Williams. And Jones is in, and Houston back in to the playoff picture, 48-35. Los Angeles heading to Fort Worth, and Mike Twinscrew had himself a day. 11 catches, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jason Williams also had 2 scores. The Fort Worth secondary came up big. 6 interceptions, including this one from Aiden Davis. Fort Worth winning big at home, 46-14. Las Vegas heading to Buffalo to face the Corsairs. Queen City here on 4th and inches on offense, and Jet Zero is going to get stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A great stand and turnover on downs there for the Las Vegas defense. But Joseph Green would give one right back. Cody Griffin with the interception in the end zone. That is the only turnover of the game for either team. Queen City gets back to 500 with that win, 41-35. London at Sioux Falls. The St. Louis defense is legit. Johnny Pickler just found out. Had 5 interceptions on the day, including that one by Jay Ringgold. And there's another one for Ringgold there. And Nathan Barnett had a pick 6 also. Sioux Falls, 5-4, heading into the home stretch. San Diego at Mexico City. Scar Patterson had a rough outing, 6 interceptions, including this one from Derek Meerkat, who's going to score his first career touchdown on the pick 6. And Mexico City clinging to that South Division lead, 47-31, their win there. And first on the docket for our extended highlight package is DC visiting Arizona, and that big Scorpion. Call the big exterminator, please. Shabazz Synergy would get picked off here by Shad Allen. It would actually be Synergy's only interception of the game. And Arizona would capitalize. DJ Moses plows through and breaks the plane. Relatively quiet day for Moses, only 88 yards on the ground, but did have 2 touchdowns, including that one. Potty for DC, converts from 36 yards, and it's a 7-6 game. Ashley Jackson, intercepted by Kanye Rockefeller. Rockefeller takes the knee in the end zone, and he just fired up. Big play there by the veteran. Potty. You're seeing a trend here. Another field goal. That's number 3. DC taking the lead, 9-7. Jackson thrown to the end zone. She's intercepted again. That time it's Daryl Bullock. And then this big catch here from Lauren Percoco, deflected and right into the hands of the tight end, setting up another potty field goal, his 4th, and now it's a 14-12 game. DJ Moses up the middle on short yardage for his 2nd touchdown. DC driving, trying to answer, trailing 21-12 now. Big catch from Josh Gill. DC will hurry up here right before the 2-minute warning. This drive would eventually stall out. And so they call out Potty to make his 5th field goal and to go ahead and try for the onside kick. That would good from 51 yards. And now can Potty execute the onside kick and hope his team can recover. Squibs it off the ground, deflected off the hands of the Arizona receiver, and DC does recover. And they are right back in this thing with less than 2 minutes to play. Take another look. It's bobbled twice, hit somebody in the helmet. And DC comes down with it. Synergy finds Mike Churchill, and he gets the Dragons into plus territory. DC would hurry up again. Less than 2 minutes to play now. Synergy would find Josh Gill. Gill had a monster game. 4 catches, 76 yards in total. DC has yet to find the end zone, though. Could they do it in the last minute of the game? Synergy does find Gill in the end zone for the touchdown. And now Potty, after 5 field goals, will make the game-winning extra point, and DC will run out of Arizona with a win,
22-21, that final, and Vancouver also beat Lone Star. Charleston took care of Carolina, and Louisiana beat Florida on a game-winning field goal. A lot of games every week, Mike, and while we may see 2, sometimes 4 here on NXT, there's action going on all around the SFL all week long.
Yeah, Cam, no doubt about it. I use Crunch Time every Wednesday night to catch up on all the SFL action from the previous weekend, and it's a great way for anyone that wants to catch up with the league to find out the ins and outs. There's different segments on that show where you can find out a lot of things going on around the SFL.
Josh Zirkle does a great job, but guess what? He's on vacation this week, Mike, which means you and I are co-hosting Crunch Time on Wednesday night, so we're looking forward to getting back to our game day wrap-up days and getting into the gritty of this analysis. Don't be doing the gritty, though. Maybe people, that's what they want to see.
Well, Cam, it's probably going to be my favorite episode of the season next week.
Man, you find new ways to be an egotistical jerk every week, don't you, Mike?
Hey, that's why I'm here, Cam.
The people that really know, you know you're a big softy. Florida's up 14-10 on Tulsa. We've seen 3 touchdowns in that game just since we went to the half here in Los Angeles. Your thoughts on what we've seen so far out of the 5-4 Desperados and the 4-4 Storm?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, Cam, we thought we were going to be talking about defenses here in our game, and I actually thought we were going to be talking about defenses here in our secondary game, but no one showed up on defense thus far other than Ricky Thornton. We did show that with the pick in the end zone, but other than that, Cam, we've been back and forth. These guys are throwing haymakers at each other. Daniel Manning had a huge catch that set up a Douglas Brown touchdown. We saw a huge touchdown run from Bullet Beletsky. So they're going back and forth right now. Tulsa has the ball back right now, and they're moving again.
On a little counterplay, no less, for Beletsky. All the stars in that game showing out. Florida up, but still plenty of time left in that one. Michael and Wade have the call in the second half. From Los Angeles, it's a good one. Vancouver 14 and LA 14. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report. We'll see you back here for Post.
The Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports has come to Los Angeles, California at Full Moon Coliseum. It's a battle between the division-leading Vancouver Legion at 8-1 and the 3-6 Los Angeles Lycans. Vancouver has already clinched the division and has booked their spot in the playoffs. The Lycans likely needing to win out to have a shot. My name is Michael Trillo. Welcome back to the action. I've got Wade Phillips alongside me, Mike McBride and Tyler Falker on stats. And we just heard from Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green in the studio. Wade, it was a very odd first half with Vancouver controlling most of the ball on offense, but two big plays have Los Angeles right back in it.
You said it, partner. Very odd indeed. LA just hasn't been able to do much on offense, but then the two scores for them have just been like, they had a play, 76 yards in one play in 14 seconds, and then that first touchdown was 77 yards in two plays in 44 seconds. And so it's just been, they haven't done anything, but then they've had the two big scores. So it's just very odd.
When you look at the stats, they're not too far away. 195 yards to the air for Sully Richardson, 223 for Tom Pepper. On the ground, Robert Johnson is actually out rushing Robert Redford, but yeah, take that big 76-yard rush into account for that one.
Indeed. Yeah, because without that, just it's pretty similar. But yeah, that big play really helped him.
Middle, complete for Richardson. Taking a big shot, but hanging on to the football is Terrence Wary. And it's first down, Los Angeles.
I definitely believe that the defense was looking for a deep pass because they were playing very soft on that, expecting them to try to beat them deep. But that time they went short, looked like all slants over the middle, caught it, and picked up the first. So really great job by the offense to keep him off balance.
Los Angeles in the first half did not convert a third down. But again, here they are, 14-14 as another run for Robert Johnson goes up the middle.
Yeah, every single one of their damage was done on first or second down. I mean, really, it's been a Jekyll and Hyde for them on third down.
Second and 6. Over the middle. That pass is complete. Sully Richardson spreading the ball around. There's LZ Pryor making the grab, and LA is on the move.
Yeah, Sully Richardson found LZ Pryor right there, caught it, and now they're very much in threatening position against Vancouver's defense. LA needs to put something together and put it in pay dirt, and we'll see if LA can really keep this drive going because it's been, like we've mentioned, they've scored on those big plays.
Richardson underneath. And that pass is complete to Travis Warren Jr., setting up a second down and short.
And they needed that out route, caught it, picked up 8 yards, and now they've got a very manageable second down, threatening on the 34-yard line of Vancouver, and now it looks like they're going to pound the rock.
Will indeed. Johnson, did he get there? Yes. Barely pushing the pile forward for a first down. Michael Lister and Dean Maddox were there for Vancouver, but they couldn't push him back.
That's exactly right. Kept those legs churning, those tree trunks that he calls legs. Kept them churning, picked up the first down just enough, and now they got that first down that they needed.
This time Johnson goes backwards. Drew Hamilton was said, enough with this. I'm shooting the gap on a run blitz and taking him down.
Indeed. Marquise Reed was also there to stack him up and knock him down for a loss of 2.
This is now the longest drive of the day for Los Angeles. Fresh up out of the halftime interval. Johnson dragging defenders to the Vancouver 25, sets up a 3rd and 4, and this would be the time for Los Angeles for that first down conversion on 3rd down.
Indeed, and they needed it. The second half has really righted some wrongs that they had in that first half, and now LA very much changing the theme of their drive so far.
A correction, this would be their second 3rd down conversion. Had one earlier in the drive, but that's not going to go anywhere as it made me a little signals cross between Sully Richardson and Davius Reed. They go backwards 3 yards, and it's 4th down and 5. And out will come Rob Ems. And this will be the first field goal attempt of the day for either side.
On that play, they pizzaed when they should have French fried, and they had a bad time, and now it sets up a field goal. They're going to try to put some points on the board.
The right foot of Ems will bring the Lycans into the lead. 17-14 as it goes right through the uprights, and Los Angeles has their first lead of the day. Remember, Vancouver, 0 for all-time in Full Moon Coliseum, have not won in this building.
No, and this is helping LA's cause, and really, Vancouver, like you said, they really want to get this victory and correct the no away team ever wins.
And even when the Los Angeles Lycans were in Chicago and known as the Wildcats back in seasons 11, 12, and 13, it was still all home service between Vancouver and this Chicago/Los Angeles franchise. So all home cooking. Can Vancouver change that today, or will Los Angeles hold on to some playoff hopes?
Indeed, LA's just fighting for their life. Vancouver's, like we've mentioned, they've punched it.
They're not going to take their foot off the gas, though, Vancouver. As Tom Pepper's going to come out firing. He's going to complete to the far side to Kendra Hall. Her second catch today, has Vancouver a first down, and Cameron Irvine has an update for us in the studio. Cam, what do you got?
Thanks, Torillo. Tulsa's pizzaing when they should have French fried, and they're having a bad time, Mike.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means, Cam, but Bullet Valetsky finishes off a 10-play drive with a touchdown, and Tulsa, they're having a tough time slowing down the scoring offense, 21-10 in the second.
Finally, you don't know what a pop culture reference means. My life is complete. Back to Torillo and Wade in L.A.
Well, it's not just Mike St. Green. I have no idea what you just said, Cam. Meanwhile, Robert Redford having one of his more impressive runs of the day. That goes for 9 yards, sets up a 2nd and 1. But Florida having their way with Tulsa in the battle of two teams fighting for their playoff lives. Here's a fullback run. And Sawyer Stern gets the 1.5 yards necessary to move the chains.
The rookie gets his name called, picks up the big first that they needed in a crucial time because they have to get points because they are running out of opportunities slowly. Still the third quarter, but hey, anytime you can put points on the board and don't, you're going to be hurting.
Well, time of possession very much in favor of Los Angeles, of Vancouver. And there is Redford. Redford breaks 2 tackles, spins out of another one. Put that one in the highlights of the week as Robert Redford goes spin cycle for a first down.
And that's just a sassy run right there. Got it. Broke some tackles right there. Ooh, just too powerful. And then the spin move. And then almost, breaks another one. And then finally the 2 defenders get him, knock him down. So great job by Robert Redford to pick up the first down.
Pepper in the gun. Goes to the near side for Killian, and he is out of bounds. I'm told that pizza and French fries is a skiing thing. Well, I'm from Florida, and I haven't been skiing since I was like 11 years old. So that went right over my head.
Yeah, Florida doesn't see much snow, do they, there, Michael?
No, we don't. It's mostly rain down here. Meanwhile, back in Los Angeles, Vancouver trying to tie, take the lead after LA is in front for the first time today, 17-14. Pepper all day to throw, but just will go short to Redford. Redford with a head of steam, but this time there will be no spin shenanigans as he is wrapped up by the former Vancouver Legion player Kevin Brackett.
And it makes it, third medium right here. And really, I would assume they're going to try to get it through the air, but hey, you never know, honestly.
Trips right, single left. Pepper 250 yards of the day. That's a quick slant, and that's a first down called on the field. Wouldn't be surprised if LA decides to challenge this because that was close.
Indeed, that was very close, and I, like you said, I would not be surprised to see the red hanky on the field, but we'll see if they want to follow through with it.
Doesn't look like they will, so the first down will stand for Vancouver. LA must not want to burn a timeout here in the second half. That's understandable. Just outside the 30, Pepper, late blitz coming, finds the receiver in double coverage down inside the 20.
And Walters showing toughness over the middle again. The all slants route caught and picked up the first. That was excellent coverage by the defense, but Tom Pepper fitted in the tight window, caught it, big first down. Now they continue this drive.
James Walters, 100% catch rate for 75 yards on the day. Inside the red zone. Pepper will go to Redford, and Redford gets swallowed up in the backfield by Brogan Sparrow. No, excuse me. That is DJ Magic, I believe.
Either way, partner, that was an excellent one-on-one tackle by the defensive lineman, it looked like, and just a great job, and now they're going to try to run it down their throat again, it looks like.
On 2nd and 12, Vancouver hasn't had that much success going up the middle with runs today. It will be Pepper just trying to get it to Redford in space. He does have some space to work with. Spins out of one tackle, but he's driven backwards by Kevin Brackett and company, and it will be 3rd down and 7.
It's a pretty safe play because, it caught everybody off guard, including us. We thought they were going to run it, then they throw it, picks up 5, and now gives them, kind of a longer play on 3rd down, but hey, it's very manageable.
Pepper the gun, 3 down front for Los Angeles. Let's see how much they rush. They will only rush 3. Play action. Pepper to the sticks. Pass caught. First down. Excellent execution by the team in white.
Executed to perfection right there. Kendra Hall caught it, stumbled down, but put the ball right across the first down marker, picks up the first down, and now it's a 1st and goal with only 9 yards to go to Pater.
And we see so many teams on 3rd down and medium go with those corner routes, but just don't go far enough down the field, end up coming a yard short. Vancouver making sure their I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Pepper to throw, laces it to the end zone, touchdown Vancouver, and James Walters gets his score. It's been coming all game for number 87.
James Walters is absolutely deadly in the red zone right there. They targeted him. It looked like an out route. Yeah, got it. And then right on the end zone line, right where he needed to be, Tom Pepper put it on the money, caught it, touchdown, strong play, excellent. And now Vancouver in the driver's seat, in my mind.
He showed the ball to the 3rd season veteran Mike Scott and then took it away and crossed the plane. Up and in for chance 2 and the kicker for Vancouver. And the Legion take the lead 21-17. 4-point game, 1:08 to go in the 3rd. Visit the SFL League website at simulationfl.net for links to apparel from Sector 6 and SFL mini helmets from 97 Sports Promotions, plus features from our content team, including Swamp Talk, Power Rankings, What We Learned, the Read Option, Talent Factories, and other feature series. See all the league records, team stats, player leaderboards, the rankings of the next class of SFL talent in the minor leagues, and so much more. Simulationfl.net, your home for everything SFL. And now Los Angeles, they showed us some good things on offense on that last drive. Now they're going to have to double down, Wade.
Indeed. We saw a whole nother team on that last drive, but this drive they've got to do another set like that to really try to put 7 on the board instead of just 3.
Johnson. A one-man miss, didn't get very far. Ashley Rose Finch came up and made the tackle. Cameron Irvine can't get enough of being on camera. What skiing references do you have for us this time, Cam?
I'm fresh out, Cirillo, but Verdon Zarkov is wide open.
Yeah, Cam, wide open here in the right corner, right front of the end zone here, and Florida flexing their muscles on Tulsa, 28-10.
Tulsa, after giving up just 20 points last week, having some trouble with the Storm. Back to Cirillo and Phillips in L.A. Cover that.
There's a storm rolling through Fort Lauderdale as Florida all up on Tulsa. Thanks, Cam and Mike. 2-yard out while we were in break, and Los Angeles faces a 3rd and 8. The last scoring drive for Vancouver, 12 plays, 77 yards in 6 minutes. Or excuse me, in 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Underneath it goes, barreling forward. Oh, just shy of the first down is Terrence Wary, the rookie out of Memphis. And this one, surely they're going to have to challenge.
Yeah, you would think so, because right there, Terrence Wary found a great soft spot in the zone. Sully Richardson found him, caught it, and I thought he got enough for the first down, but it looks like they're going to let it play out.
As did I, but maybe Los Angeles doesn't want to lose that timeout for later in the game. And did Olindi has been very good on punts today. Fair catch called for and taken at the Vancouver 31. That will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Scores up. Vancouver's got a 4-point lead over Los Angeles as we head to the final frame. The Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on NXT. Stay right there. Fourth quarter on tap from Full Moon Coliseum. Vancouver has a 4-point lead out of the ball. My name is Michael Trevillo. Welcome back to the broadcast booth. Wade Phillips alongside me, Eichmann Bride, and Mike Ryan are on stats for us as well. Soft pass on first down picks up 4 to the recent end zone finder, James Walters.
Definitely one of Tom Pepper's favorite targets, and you can see why. When you can put up, monster numbers pretty much week to week, that can be you can see why it's one of his favorite targets.
That was only Walters' 3rd receiving touchdown of the season. had 404 receiving yards coming into the day, and that one is batted away with authority by Jack Hacksaw, as that one was a little bit underthrown and forces Vancouver into a 3rd down and 6.
And the very lengthy Jack Hacksaw got all 6'3" frame on that in front of that ball to knock it down, and they needed it because Vancouver is threatening, and now they need to hold them on this 3rd down as well.
Pepper goes down. First sack for either team of the day, and it's the Lycans that pick it up.
And that's Ace Blackwell, yeah, getting back there, getting the first sack of the day, and both these teams do a very good job of keeping their quarterbacks upright. Both teams, less than the average giving up sacks, and now that big-time sack forces the 4th down in the punt.
That was Pepper's 13th sack taken on the season. Sully Richardson has even done a better job staying on his feet. He's been sacked 10 times through 9 3/4 games, and we will see Richardson and company back on the field for Los Angeles.
LA gets just another shot at it. We'll see if they can, like we mentioned, if they can sustain this drive and get some 3rd down completions, then we'll see if they can actually put 7 on the board.
And in and out of the hands of Travis Warren Jr. That's the 2nd time they've gone to that play today. That's the 2nd time that Warren has not made the catch.
Indeed, and seems like might have heard some footsteps coming and took his eye off the ball. Yeah, it might look like he might have looked up a little bit on that play and dropped it, but they need catches if they're going to get a victory here today.
Johnson trying to rush the team out of the deficit they're in, and a nice job by the 2 doubles. Double 5, Marquise Reed, and double 7, Achilles Papatonis, to bring him down only a gain of 2.
Indeed, a great combo tackle right there by the line and linebacker, and now they need more of that, and now it's an empty set.
3rd down and 8, 5 wide. In the gun is Richardson. He's going to throw it over the middle and in. No, it is complete. Diving catch made by Terrence Wary. The rookie lays out for it and moves the chains for the Lycans.
The rookie 1st-round pick, 15th overall, caught that, and they needed it. It looked like a post route. Caught it right in front of the defender. The defender tried to take his head off, but he caught it, stayed big, and then made the 1st down. Now, very good position on the Vancouver 35-yard line.
And this game has gotten very interesting. Over the middle, pass caught again. This time in traffic, and it's Terrence Wary again. Rookie putting on a show as Los Angeles is close to the red zone.
Got a bit of that clutch gene in him and showing up big in the 4th quarter, and that's exactly when they need it, and really putting together a nice little drive.
Lycans need a touchdown to take the lead. Field goal only puts them back by 1. Johnson trying to struggle forward, and again only gets 2 yards. 2 games left for both of these teams to finish out the season. Los Angeles, this is their final home game. They're on the road against Mexico City and then at Portland to close the season. And Vancouver is home next week against the surging Houston Hyenas. Actually, they're off next week, but then have a home date against the surging Houston Hyenas and close the season against San Diego. Remember, Vancouver has already clinched the Pacific Division.
And there we have another sack right there, and that was Gerald Giudice getting a big, his 1st sack of the day, and really his 4th.5 sack of the season.
Richardson on 3rd and 11 finds his receiver. Chris Lee bails out his quarterback with a nice over-the-shoulder grab, and it's 1st down and goal for the team in black.
An excellent job by the receiver to find the soft spot in the coverage, got there, and the pass was on the money. Sully Richardson having just probably one of his best days ever in his career, and really just with the QBR just on the money pretty much all day.
Richardson 17 of 23 for 207. Johnson up the middle, breaks a tackle, and is finally wrapped down at the 2-yard line.
And playing just powerful right there, just will not be denied. Was denied right there, but almost took it. An immovable object met an irresistible force, and that time the immovable object won.
2nd and goal from the 3. Will this be the play for the Lycans? It will not. As a yard short is Robert Johnson. Coming through the back end was Ashley Rose Finch to make the touchdown-saving tackle. Fields was also in there.
And this is the biggest play of this game for Los Angeles. They need this score. I mean, granted, it is 4th down territory, but if they can get this touchdown on the 3rd down, that'll be huge.
3rd and goal. Johnson wrapped up, yard short, got back to the line of scrimmage, and nothing more. Earl Fields that time with a solo tackle to save a touchdown, and it's 4th and goal, and Vancouver holds inside the 5.
I mean, I'm kind of like them. I kicked field goal because, I mean, you're only down 4, puts you down 1, especially because there's 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. But, hey, at some point, we could see some of these teams start going for, touchdowns in this area.
Chip shot field goal by Rob Ems is good. 21-20 Vancouver over LA. 5:24 to go. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and consistently refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Chris Curtis brings it out close to the 25. And we have a game update from Cameron Irvine. Studio, take it away.
Thank you, Michael Turillo. Mike St. Green, Tulsa cannot stop this counter.
No, Cam, they cannot stop Charlie the Bullet Beletsky. He is reverting back to the season he had last season. Another long touchdown run for him. That's a couple touchdown runs for him on the day. Florida dominating right now, 38-10.
Charlie Beletsky, 235 rushing yards. Tulsa, 194. Back to Turillo and Wade in LA.
Thanks, Cam and Mike. Robert Redford goes for a spin cycle, picks up a 1st down. Watch this. 1, 2, and then a sidestep to get past another defender.
Yeah, made 2 defenders miss and then almost broke it again. And I'm going to have to say, Cameron, no more updates unless it's Tulsa scoring.
Got Tulsa man Wade Phillips in the broadcast booth with me here for the final 4:51 of this game. Hope you're all enjoying it. It's a close one in the Angel City. Vancouver with a 1-point lead out of football. That's a dart from Pepper to Curtis. And a midfield go the Legion.
And now Vancouver picks up right where they left off and really running through this field, and now got the 1st down again. Chris Curtis, we've called his name a few times on 1st down plays. He is a very useful weapon when you need a 1st down because he's such a matchup problem and such a great receiver as well.
4 of 4 for Curtis, 42 yards. This time Pepper goes under center. And off to Redford, and that looked like it hurt as he got crunched by Rochelle Colston.
She played it. Smash Mouth football had to stop him from getting any farther, only gained 5, but now they're looking at a very safe 2nd and 5, and they have a multitude of options to choose from.
Offset eye on 2nd and 5. Pepper changing the play at the line. They only got that one receiver all the way out to the far side. That's Brett Killian. Then Los Angeles stacks the box, and the play goes probably how Los Angeles drew it up in practice.
Indeed, LA right there, picture perfect for their defense, getting that stop for no gain. But I think I saw Elaine, he might, if Robert Redford takes that maybe off tackle, he might have a few more yards to pick up.
Big play for Los Angeles on defense here. 3rd down and 5. It's going to be a delayed handoff to Redford. He's going to be run down. Taken out by Gary Marks along with Buddy Blaze. And they're going to have to punt.
Absolutely breathing life into this LA team, and now they've got a chance to really maybe make this the last drive of the game and maybe put themselves ahead with no time left.
With a 2-minute warning coming up, only down 1. Now all they got to do is get into field goal range, and they could have a chance to snipe this one from Vancouver. This is going to be a punt from Brian Patrick. He'll be taken from inside the 20 and only up to the 17-yard line. Now, a Vancouver loss today, not saying that's going to happen, but a Vancouver loss today would put them at 2 losses and 2 games back of the currently undefeated Baltimore Vultures. Right now, Vancouver is in prime position if the Vultures slip up in the last couple of weeks of the season to grab that number 1 overall seed. High snap for Richardson. Throws near side, pass caught. And getting out of bounds is Chris Lee.
And Chris Lee did an exceptional job getting out of bounds right there. Caught it, picked up 8, and had the wherewithal to get out of bounds and stop that clock.
Gain of 8, 2:17 to go. Richardson has a receiver wide open, and it's Davius Reed. Big first down up to the 35.
So far on this drive, LA is doing a very wonderful job of picking the right place to get them open and catch it and get out of bounds. And now the second play that they picked up a hefty chunk of yards and got out of bounds.
This drive on the arm of Sully Richardson. County lead the Lycans to a 4-6 record and potentially still alive in the playoff race. And he's got another easy pitch and catch to LZ Pryor. Clock stops again. 2:10 to go in the 4th. Coverage of the SFL on Next Level Sports continues Saturday, April 2nd. Longtime rivals Houston and Mexico City square off. Then 2 champions clash when Atlanta takes on Florida, with both teams in the thick of the wild card race. Bonus coverage includes Denver, Queen City, and Arizona, Las Vegas. The race for the playoffs is heating up. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area. Handoff middle. Johnson for the first time on this drive, and he converts. And this will bring us to the final break. 2-minute warning of the 4th quarter. Los Angeles trying to pull the upset at home against Vancouver. They're only down 1 with the ball. Join us for the exciting conclusion next. This is the SFL, presented by APM Music on NXT. Los Angeles trying to pull the upset here at home. Down by 1. 2 minutes to go. Michael Trillo and Wade Phillips saw the call for you from Full Moon Coliseum. Thank you for joining us on the SFL on Next Level Sports, as you have done all season long, as Chris Lee grabs that ball in the middle of the field and works into Vancouver territory to the 47. Where do you think field goal range is about, Wade?
I'm going to say around maybe the 36 or 37 is where I would guess would be a perfect range for them to be able to get it in.
Johnson trying to swim his way through, nowhere to go. Drew Hamilton among those in white and gold there to make the tackle. 3rd and 3.
And they really have to limit their yards given up, Vancouver does, so that they don't, like we mentioned, put LA right in field goal territory, because then it's, game over for them.
3-step drop for Richardson, finds Davius Reed down low. And to the 40-yard line they work, make it the 39.
And Los Angeles has all 3 timeouts left, so they can really just try to find what works for them to at least put them just in field goal territory. Excuse me.
Los Angeles right on the edge of field goal range. And they can run this clock all the way down after this play. Johnson to the line of scrimmage and no more. Timeout Los Angeles with 27 seconds to go, so maybe they'll try and get a little bit farther before kicking on 4th down.
Yeah, they're right on the cusp of where I would say they're comfortable kicking a field goal, maybe a little bit, maybe a little longer, but they are right on that edge where it's getting to a dangerous spot where their kicker can miss.
Middle. That's complete for a 1st down. Timeout Los Angeles at the 29, and now well inside the range of Rob Ems, who is 11 of 11 on the season.
And I would assume we see a few runs and a couple timeouts taken just to really run this clock out so that there's no time left for Vancouver.
Well, they're in a passing formation here with only Robert Johnson in the backfield. They're going to go for a pass play, and it's tipped, and incomplete. And that would have sealed it with an interception, but it falls to the turf.
Oh, Michael, that would have been heartbreaking for Los Angeles, and I don't know what they're doing. They are in the driver's seat. They are in the slow lane, just taking a Sunday cruise, but no need to complicate things and maybe have a turnover here.
Richardson in the gun, flanked by his running back and fullback. He will throw again. It is complete. And getting out of bounds to stop the clock with 16 seconds left is Chris Lee. But with 1 timeout left, do you really want to give Vancouver any more time than they're going to have, which is almost nothing?
No, we do not want to see any time. You cannot leave Vancouver any time left because they are extremely dangerous with their backs against the wall.
3rd and 7. Richardson pumps, throws, tipped, intercepted! Vancouver snatches victory from the jaws of defeat for the 2nd time in 3 weeks. Mark Lopez is the hero again for the blue and gold.
Wow, and there it is. We thought, wait, all they have to do, run it out, and they walk off victorious. But now they throw the ball. It goes the exact way that they did not want or need, and now Vancouver in the victory formation, forcing the last time out, and now it is looking like the game is in Vancouver's hands, and now they are driving their own destiny.
2 weeks ago, Mark Lopez made the tackle on the 1-yard line for Vancouver to get their first ever victory in Mexico City. Now, 2 weeks later, he gets the interception in the red zone to give Vancouver their first ever victory on the road against Los Angeles. Vancouver survives 21-20 and goes to 9-1.
Wow, partner. wow, just the heartbreak. And they had the chance. All they had to do, run it out, and they've got the victory. But my goodness, partner, they couldn't get the victory.
Tully Richardson, and it's really not his fault as that ball was deflected into the hands of Mark Lopez, but throws the interception inside the red zone. You're down 1, 16 seconds to go on 3rd and 7. You could even kneel the ball down and kick a field goal at that point.
Yeah. It's just a huge mistake by the play caller this game to call pass plays this late in the game, especially when like you said, all they had to do was go victory formation, kneel it a few times, let the clock run down to 3-4 seconds, and then kick your field goal. But hey, it did not happen, and now they lost the game because of it. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that I don't see them doing that very often. Just this time it happened, and they have to live with it. And now Vancouver gets that first road victory in this series.
A game of inches, and there it is. It was actually deflected by Michael Lister, who's only been with this team since week 3 of this season. Tipped it right to Mark Lopez, your player of the game. Tom Pepper, 302 yards and 2 touchdowns. He keeps his quarterback rating sky high. Cameron Irvine and Maxine Green will wrap up today and preview tomorrow's doubleheader on the SFL networks, coming up on the SFL postgame update after the break. But for Ike McBride and Mike Ryan, Tyler Falk on stats, and Wade Phillips, my partner once again in the broadcast booth, my name is Michael Turillo, saying so long and have a very pleasant good afternoon.
We love you, Tulsa.
Welcome back to the SFL studios for our post-game update. What a shocking result at the end of that game, Mike, as Los Angeles literally threw the game away. And now 3-7, pretty much out of the playoff hunt. Just your initial thoughts.
Well, Cam, the Lycans, they came out and played like a team, desperately trying to hold on, to a playoff positioning and not, face elimination. And officially eliminated, no, but 7 losses. We know that's a definite uphill battle, especially with the gridlock of teams at 5-5 and at 500 that typically ends up in this league season in and season out. But great game plan. They played great. Basically up until the one questionable call at the end of that game. I don't know if they wanted to get Rob Ems just a little closer. A great veteran kicker for that team. And, it just didn't work out for them at the end, but they really did have a valiant fight and it just came up a little bit short.
They could have been fighting the win, too. It's hard to tell. O'Lindy had a booming punt in the second half that was going the opposite direction, right? So it looked like maybe the wind was at the back of O'Lindy, which would have been in the face of the kicker. It's so hard to tell, but at the end of the day, you got to execute for 44 minutes, and Vancouver was the team to do that the best. They improved to 9-1. They keep the pressure on Baltimore. And sometimes, Mike, it's just your year, right? We're watching this Vancouver game, and we're thinking, man, Vancouver's not playing all that well, but they just keep winning. They've won a lot of close games this season, and Vancouver's just having one heck of a season.
Well, one thing we did mention, Cam, when we were coming down the stretch there, we were kind of talking about which way did we think it was going to go. And one thing that I mentioned, I kind of felt like Vancouver would make the championship type plays and close it out. And sure enough, right there at the end with the big interception by Mark Lopez, that's basically what happened. A championship play. That obviously they're not a championship team at this point, but they're definitely a championship contender. It'll be interesting to see how this top 3 of Baltimore, Louisiana, and Vancouver play out at the end of this season, because I think seeding and home field advantage is going to be huge come playoff time.
The 3-time Pacific Division champs, Mike, are 5.5 games up on the next team in their division. It has been Vancouver dominance as we've gone down the stretch this season. They're not the only team dominating right now. Florida, who lost to Vancouver pretty badly earlier this season, they are just smoking Tulsa 48-10, and they just got an interception on JQ once more. Tulsa, like San Diego, is in a bit of a free fall here. They've gone from 5-3 to 5-5. Now they're in trouble.
Yeah, Cam, this is and on Florida real quick, this is clearly the best game that they've played all season long. But on Tulsa, they came into the game last week against Jacksonville, somewhat a huge game for them, no doubt about it. But they had a little house money that they could use to play with. They were 5-3 at that particular time. Obviously, they lost that game. And now, they're going to come up on the short end on this game. Now they're going to be 5-5 going into the last couple of weeks of the season, and it's not going to be an easy road. As we mentioned, Louisiana, who's definitely entrenched as a playoff and championship contender. They have them in their next ball game, and they close out the season with former champion Atlanta, who's really played well over the past couple of weeks. So Tulsa's work is cut out for them with the remaining schedule that they have after starting off the season so promising.
Florida's backup just got another 30 yards on a counter play. Tulsa better figure out how to stop that counter, or next week or a couple of weeks when Tulsa plays, you can best believe that that their opponent is going to come in to the game with that play and make something out of that. So with that being said, tomorrow we've got a doubleheader on the SFL family of networks. More key critical games as we wind down on season 18 and get this playoff picture going. The pressure's still on Baltimore. They're undefeated. They play at 9 against Vegas. They have had Vegas's number over the last few years. Jacksonville has had St. Louis's number. Can the Gladiators continue to climb the standings after their big win last week? But Queen City, Sioux Falls, this should be one heck of a game. They've met 4 times in the playoffs before. This is their 13th meeting. Both teams have 4 losses. and wanting to move up the standings. It should be a great one in prime time.
Yeah, Cam, that's actually the one that stood out to me the most. Queen City going up against Sioux Falls. As I mentioned earlier in today, that Sioux Falls, they really have impressed me this season. And Queen City, they did a overhaul of that offensive line. They want to continue their upward swing that they had last season. So we got two legendary teams, by the way, that's going to be going at it. It's going to be haymakers thrown in that game. And I can't wait to see that one. And the other game that stood out to me, Cam, Las Vegas returning to the scene of the crime last season against Baltimore, where they were shut out. That Baltimore defense, they were all over the quarterback Joseph Green in that game. And so, man, Vegas, they are right there on that 5-5, that 500 cusp. They really need that game, but man, they have their work cut out for them going up against the undefeated Baltimore Vultures.
Yeah, the last thing you want to see this time of year when you're in the middle of the pack is Baltimore on your schedule. So we'll see what Vegas can do with that. Los Angeles was very close to pulling an upset this week, and it didn't happen. We'll see how close Vegas can get. Next week on Next Level Sports, you're not going to want to miss this doubleheader. 2:30 p.m. Eastern is our start. We've got Mexico City taking on Houston. Houston's won 4 in a row. They're 5-4. The Aztecs are 5-4, and at the top of the division, getting a rest this week on a bye week. Then you've got Atlanta, who is 4-4, has Carolina tomorrow night, who's 2-7. Atlanta should take care of business and improve to 5-4. They will take on Florida, who's 5-4. So you've got all these teams right jumbled up at the top of the standings, and they're all playing each other next week on Next Level Sports. Should be a great one.
Yeah, Cam, that's a heck of a slate as you just laid out right there. 4 great franchises. Houston, as you mentioned, going up against Mexico City. Houston has been on a huge upswing and not just winning games by a little bit. That offense was struggling coming out this season, but man, lately they've really been on fire. I think 40 points a couple of weeks ago, another 40 points in a win today. Mexico City is going to be on a bye week, but coming off of a bye week, but that's a great game in that South Division down there, and then two excellent franchises in this league. Both teams have won championships in this league before, in Atlanta and Florida, and they're going to be really going at each other next week. That one I cannot wait to see.
5 championships and 8 championship game appearances between those 4 franchises that you will see next week on Next Level Sports. So Vancouver gets the win 21-20 over Los Angeles. Earlier today, London got the W 23-13 over a depleted Arizona team. And a couple of routes today. Florida and Tulsa still wrapping up, but that's 48-10. And then Houston was all over San Diego. For all of us at the Simulation Football League, thanks for joining us this weekend on Next Level Sports. We'll see you back here next Saturday. For Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. Enjoy the rest of your sports weekend all across the globe.